Deep within the Amazon lies a secret. It's a secret that has stood for centuries, hidden by a canopy so thick that sunlight struggles to break through. This secret, a giant amongst giants, a tree so tall it dwarfs the Statue of Liberty. This is the Dinizia excelsa, a titan of the Amazon, and until recently it was entirely unknown to the outside world. Imagine a tree so colossal, so immense that its canopy stretches as far as the eye can see. This is no fairy tale, this is the reality of the Dinizia excelsa. Now, a team of intrepid researchers embarks on a journey into the heart of the Amazon. Their mission, to reach this botanical wonder and uncover its secrets. Their journey will be fraught with challenges, but the rewards promise to be immense. For this is more than just a scientific expedition, it's a journey into a world untouched, a glimpse into the majesty of nature at its most awe-inspiring. The discovery of the Dinizia excelsa was not a result of stumbling upon it in the jungle. No, this giant revealed itself in a far more modern way, through whispers from the sky. Advanced airborne lasers, technology used to map the Earth's surface, picked up an anomaly so large that it could only be one thing, a tree of unprecedented size. Confirmation came from the whirring wings of drones sent to investigate. They flew over the dense canopy, cameras capturing the breathtaking scale of what lay below. Images were beamed back to the scientists, revealing the crown of the Dinizia excelsa, a sprawling emerald island in a sea of green. The excitement was palpable. A new record was within reach. Reaching the Dinizia excelsa was not going to be easy. This was not a leisurely stroll through a park. This was the Amazon, a realm of untamed wilderness where danger lurks around every corner. The journey would require navigating treacherous rivers, hacking through dense undergrowth, and evading the watchful eyes of the jungle's many inhabitants. There were jaguars with eyes that pierced the shadows, their silent tread a constant threat. Poisoned dart frogs, jewels of the rainforest, held deadly secrets beneath their vibrant skin. And then there were the insects, a buzzing, biting cloud that tested patience and sanity in equal measure. But the team was undeterred. They were driven by a thirst for knowledge, a desire to stand in the presence of this botanical marvel. The sheer size of the Dinizia excelsa presented a unique challenge, reaching the top. This was no ordinary tree climb. It was an expedition that would require specialist equipment and a healthy dose of courage. The team spent weeks preparing. They meticulously studied the images, planning their ascent with the precision of mountaineers preparing to conquer Everest. Ropes were inspected, harnesses adjusted. They practiced their climbing techniques on smaller trees, familiarizing themselves with the equipment and the demands of ascending such heights in a humid, unforgiving environment. The team packed supplies, food, water, first aid kits, and scientific instruments. They were as prepared as they could be. The only thing left was the unknown. Section 5. A Skyward Climb. The day of the climb dawned hot and humid, the air thick with the sounds of the rainforest. The team, a mix of botanists, climbers, and adventurers, gathered at the base of the Dinizia excelsa, their faces a mixture of excitement and apprehension. They attached their ropes, the only thing connecting them to the ground, and began their ascent. Up they climbed, inch by inch, foot by foot, the forest floor slowly receding below. The air grew cooler as they ascended, the sounds of the jungle fading into a distant hum. Hours turned into a blur of muscle strain and sheer determination. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they broke through the canopy. The view was breathtaking. The canopy spread out before them like a vast green ocean, stretching as far as the eye could see. They had reached their goal. They were on top of the world, or at least on top of the Dinizia excelsa. Section 6. A verdant city in the clouds. The canopy of the Dinizia excelsa was unlike anything the researchers had ever seen before. It was a world unto itself, a verdant city in the clouds teeming with life. The branches of the tree, thick as a California redwood, were adorned with a tapestry of mosses, ferns, and orchids. Their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the deep green of the surrounding foliage. Butterflies with wings of iridescent blue flitted amongst the flowers. their delicate beauty a stark contrast to the rugged surroundings. Strange birds with plumage more vibrant than any jewel sang from the branches, their calls a symphony of the rainforest. The team was awestruck. They had stumbled upon an ecosystem unlike any other, a testament to the incredible biodiversity of the Amazon. Section 7: Giants amongst Giants. As the team ventured deeper into the canopy, they made a discovery that left them speechless. The insects, reptiles, and even the mammals were larger than their counterparts on the forest floor. Giant stick insects, longer than a man's arm, swayed gently on the branches, their camouflage so perfect that they were almost invisible. Tree frogs, the size of dinner plates, clung to the leaves, their bulging eyes watching the intruders with a mixture of curiosity and caution. And then there were the monkeys. These were not the usual small, agile creatures that inhabited the lower levels of the rainforest. These monkeys were large, their fur a deep, rich brown, their movements surprisingly graceful for their size. Section 8: The Heart of the Giant. The most astonishing discovery was yet to come. Nestled in the very heart of the Dinitzia excelsa's canopy, accessible only by a network of rope bridges woven by the giant monkeys, was a village. But this was no ordinary village. The huts were enormous, constructed from the massive leaves of the tree and woven together with vines thicker than a man's leg. The villagers, a people seemingly untouched by the outside world, were friendly and welcoming. They spoke a language unlike any the researchers had encountered, a melodic series of clicks and whistles. It was a language that seemed to echo the sounds of the forest itself. The villagers shared their food and stories, their way of life intertwined with the rhythms of the tree. They were the guardians of the giant, living in harmony with their unique environment. The researchers expressed their desire to meet the chief of their village. Even with the breakdown in communication, the villagers seemed to understand what the researchers were after. They were taken to what seems like a towering cathedral, with doors 30 feet high. After several minutes of anticipation, the researchers heard a deep, bellowing voice exclaiming one word in English: "No!" Then the villagers came running out and the door slammed behind them. It seemed as though English-speaking people were unwelcome. Section 9: A Future Entwined. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the canopy, the team knew it was time to leave. They descended back to the forest floor, their bodies weary but their spirits soaring. They had achieved their goal. They had reached the top of the Dinitzia excelsa. But more importantly, they had glimpsed a world untouched, a world where nature reigned supreme. The discovery of the Dinitzia excelsa and its unique inhabitants sent ripples through the scientific community. It was a stark reminder of how much there still is to learn about the natural world and the importance of protecting these precious ecosystems. The future of the Dinitzia excelsa, this giant amongst giants, is now intertwined with our own. It's a reminder that we are not just visitors in this world, but an integral part of its delicate balance, and that protecting the giants of our planet is not just an act of conservation, but an act of self-preservation.